James and Oliver had been best friends since their school days in London. They were inseparable, the kind of friends who shared everything: dreams, failures, and triumphs. Oliver was charming and witty, while James was steady and reliable. Their friendship was more like a brotherhood, and James trusted Oliver with his life. Emily entered James's world during university. She was the love of his life, a brilliant and compassionate woman who lit up every room she walked into. James's friends loved her, and Oliver was no exception. He often joked about how James had been lucky to find someone so perfect. James had no idea how deep Oliver's admiration for Emily really ran. The first sign of trouble came during James and Emily's 5th wedding anniversary. Oliver had thrown a lavish surprise party for the couple. At first, it seemed like a thoughtful gesture from a close friend, but looking back, James realized how much of Oliver's attention had been on Emily that night. Subtle glances, a lingering touch on her arm as he congratulated her. Small things James had brushed off in the moment. Over time, James began to notice other odd behaviors. Emily, once so attentive and loving, started to become distant. She'd spend hours on her phone, laughing at messages she wouldn't share. Oliver, too, began making excuses to spend more time at James and Emily's home. He claimed it was because he was lonely, but James couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The truth came out in the most unexpected way. One evening, James was tidying up the living room when Emily's phone buzzed. It was a message from Oliver. The preview on the screen read, "Can't wait to see you again, my love." James's heart sank. He opened the message thread and was hit with a flurry of texts and photos, proof of an affair that had been going on for months. Emily returned home to find James waiting for her, phone in hand. Confrontation was inevitable, and she didn't deny it. Instead, she admitted to everything. She and Oliver had fallen in love, and she didn't think her marriage with James was working anymore. What she said next left James speechless. "Oliver and I are getting married." James was devastated, but the betrayal didn't end there. A week later, he found out that Emily and Oliver had already registered their marriage. They'd planned everything behind his back, from filing for divorce to starting their new life together. Friends and family, unsure of how to navigate the situation, began to pull away from James, leaving him isolated. But James wasn't the type to crumble. After the initial wave of grief, he decided he wouldn't let this betrayal define him. He started digging into Oliver's past, suspecting that his best friend's charm might have concealed other secrets. What he found was shocking. Oliver had been involved in shady business dealings and had several failed relationships where accusations of manipulation had surfaced. James also discovered that Emily had been pressured by Oliver into the affair. Oliver had exploited the cracks in their marriage, subtly planting doubts in Emily's mind about James's loyalty and love. Armed with this knowledge, James devised a plan, not just to expose Oliver, but to reclaim his dignity and teach both of them a lesson they'd never forget. James began by reaching out to people Oliver had wronged in the past. He gathered evidence of Oliver's shady business practices and shared it anonymously with Oliver's employers and colleagues. It wasn't long before Oliver lost his high-paying job, tarnishing his reputation in the industry. Next, James approached Emily with the truth about Oliver's manipulative behavior. He didn't do it to win her back, but to open her eyes to the person she'd left him for. At first, she refused to believe him, but when James showed her messages and accounts from others who had been hurt by Oliver, doubt began to creep in. The turning point came during a party Oliver and Emily hosted to celebrate their new life together. James, with the help of a mutual friend, managed to leak details about Oliver's past to some of the attendees. As whispers spread through the crowd, the atmosphere grew tense. By the end of the night, Oliver was left humiliated as former friends and colleagues turned their backs on him. Emily, now questioning everything, confronted Oliver about the allegations. When he couldn't provide satisfactory answers, their relationship began to unravel. Within months, they separated, leaving Oliver alone and disgraced. As for James, he used this experience to rebuild his life. He focused on his career, reconnecting with old friends, and even started volunteering to help others going through difficult relationships. Over time, He found peace and happiness again, proving that betrayal doesn't have to define your future. James's story is a powerful reminder that trust, once broken, is hard to mend. But even in the face of the deepest betrayals, there's always a path to healing and redemption. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even. It's about rising above and creating a better life for yourself. What would you do if someone you trusted betrayed you this deeply? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible stories like this one.